What is up, you guys? Welcome or welcome back to the Paddle and Pivot podcast. This is season 1, episode 19, my summer reset. I'm going to be talking all about the things that I'm doing to make the most of this season. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day and a wonderful start to summer. This episode is being released on June 26th, so it is officially summer now, even though if you ask me, the heat in Bermuda and Florida, it's been summertime for a while. It is so hot. And then especially in Bermuda, it's so humid. Like, I've lived here my whole life, but I still can't. I don't mess with the heat. I like being cold. This weather is not for me. I do enjoy spending some time in the sun though, but it is so hot. It's so draining just to be in that heat all the time. But I'm going to enjoy summer for what it is. I'm hoping to spend some time reading outside and just enjoying life, seeing the sunsets, all of that. What catch-ups do I have for you guys? I just got back from my trip to Florida, so I did a couple things in South Florida to get ready for school, and then I drove up to Jacksonville for my friend's wedding. It was a really nice experience. It was a nice drive. It was about 5 hours. I just listened to an audiobook and podcast. I love podcasts, as you know. I listened to I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy on my way up, and then on my way back I listened to First Lie Wins. I can't remember who the author of that is, but I really enjoyed both of those books. I'm Glad My Mom Died was very interesting. I didn't know that Jennette McCurdy had gone through some of the things that she had. She has a really good story with all things about like emotional abuse, being a child star, eating disorders, depression, substance abuse disorders, deception. Literally everything you could think of is in that book, so I definitely recommend reading it or listening to it. It's actually narrated by her, so that was very nice. And then I listened to First Lie Wins, which was basically the story of a con woman, and I've never read a story from that perspective before, but I did really enjoy that as well. As for reading, I'm still reading Reckless. I think I have like 40 pages left, so I think I'm going to finish that after I record, actually. And then I think I'm going to take a break from the series and read a summary book, which I'm going to share my TBR a little bit later in the episode. I'm currently watching Cheat Unfinished Business. I'm on episode 7 out of 9, so I'll be finishing that in the next couple days. It was a little slow in the beginning, but now it's starting to get good, and I'm really enjoying this episode, and it's really teaching me just about perspective in different situations, because for me, like, I would like to say cheating is an automatic deal breaker, but I understand that there are nuances to the situation. I don't think I have any other updates. I have just under a month before I start medical school, so things are getting real. I have a lot of like preschool things that I need to do, like orientation modules, background checks, vaccination paperwork, all of that stuff. So definitely very busy. I'm still in my job as a phlebotomist. I am enjoying it so far, loving the patient interaction that I got to have, and it just makes me more excited to start medical school and to interact with more patients. I think that's all for my updates, so we'll get into these intro segments. The quote for today is, "Sunsets are proof that endings can be beautiful too." I really enjoy watching the sunset during the summertime because it sets after I get off of work or after I'm done study, like when I can take a break for studying, because in the winter it's a little bit too early for me to really enjoy it. But I really enjoy watching sunsets because they're just so beautiful, and it's just a moment to relax and be in nature and all of that, and I really enjoy it. My pedal moment is that I had a really good trip to Jacksonville. I got a lot of sleep, which you guys know that I struggle with a sleep schedule, and now that I have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's really hard for me to get enough sleep every day. My pivot moment would be, I started my period on Saturday, so I've just been really uncomfortable these past couple days, but it is what it is. I'm doing all that I can to make the most of my situation, but that would just be my pivot moment. Getting into the journal prompts from the last episode, one was, what routines or practices are most important to you? I would say my morning routine is very important for me to have like a slower morning routine. I do spend some time on my phone, make sure I get sunlight in my eyes, make sure I do my hair, do makeup, have my vitamins, take my medications, brush my teeth. All of that stuff is a really important part of my morning routine. I typically prefer a more extensive morning routine with yoga, meditation, and journaling, but right now that's just not realistic for me because I'm already getting up at 6:30 in the morning and I'm just really, really tired. Another routine that's important to me is a nighttime routine. I always read before bed. pretty much every single day because that's just such an unwinding and enjoyable activity for me. I also enjoy working out. I've been a little bit off of my workout routine recently because I'm having some joint pains, but I'm been trying to do like yoga and Pilates so that I can still get that practice of movement in because I really enjoy it and I really enjoy seeing my progress over time. Prompt number 2 was, how can you make your home environment, for example your bedroom, feel more welcoming? One thing that I actually did recently was I got Alexa light bulbs so that I can change the color of my lights and just match it to my mood, and that really is important to me because I enjoy just kind of making an ambiance. I also play a playlist when I go to sleep, and all of that stuff just really helps me to match my environment to whatever mood I'm trying to set. And 3 was to list 3 experiences you're looking forward to this summer. If I would have answered this last time, I would have said my trip to Florida. I am looking forward to reading in the sun, and I'm also looking forward to spending time with my friends. Since I'm in a lot of long distance friendships, it's difficult for me to spend time with my friends, so I maximize those opportunities whenever I can. That's all of our intro segments, so without any further ado, let's get right into the main part of the episode. If you listen to my spring reset, I kind of talked about like checking in for my goals for the year so far, setting new goals, different organizational things that I can do. I did a whole bucket list episode last time, but I'm just going to add that in here. Some of my favorites, things I want to watch, things I want to read, hobbies that I want to incorporate, and ins and outs. Let's get right into it. Checking into my goals. My physical goal for the spring was to improve my sleep hygiene. I was not as successful with that as I would have liked, so I definitely want to continue to work on that. And I think that once I start medical school, it will be, every day will be more of the same, so it'll be easier for me to get into a realistic routine because I'll also be able to set my hours a little bit better than I can right now. My self-care goal was to spend more time outside of the house and get deeper into journaling practices. I definitely think that I adventured more outside of the house. This spring, I went on a lot of friendship dates. I tried a lot of new spots in South Florida. I was getting into my journaling practices, but I've fallen off as I've been on summer break just because I do have earlier mornings, so I haven't really prioritized that time. So I'm going to try to get into the practice of journaling at night, at least for this season of life. And then once I have a more flexible schedule, I might start journaling in the morning again. My social goal was to host at my house. Unfortunately, this didn't really happen, but I was able to make new friends and spend time with people outside of my house, so I would consider that still successful, and I'll just work on being able to spend time with people at my house more in the future. My financial goal was to add to my investment and savings accounts. I think I did a really good job with that. I've just been staying on top of my budget and spending my money wisely, I would say. My career goal was to complete my phlebotomy course and graduate, which I accomplished that. I am so proud of myself for doing that phlebotomy course just to level up in my career and jobs that I'm able to get. And then graduating with my master's degree and getting into medical school was a major goal for me, and I'm so proud of myself for achieving that. My hobby goal was to keep plants alive, and unfortunately my plants just don't want to see me win. I feel like I have 2 plants surviving now, which would be Perry the Pothos and Scarlet the snake plant. Hopefully I can get some more plants when I move back to Florida, and hopefully I can keep them alive because I just don't know what's going on, but it's been really difficult for me to keep plants alive. I'm not sure why. Getting into my new goals for this summer, first will be to improve my sleep hygiene because I need to be getting in the habit of getting 8 hours of sleep so that I can be well rested and prepared for my day ahead. My self-care goal is to get back into journaling because I really think that journaling helps me to reflect and it helps me to get my thoughts on paper. And as someone with some mental health struggles, it can be a really good practice for me to be in the present moment and to be aware of everything that is going on with me. My social goal will be to spend time with friends monthly. As I said before, I'm getting ready to start medical school, so I don't want to neglect my friendships. I want to be able to spend time with friends at least once a month, and I feel like that should be an achievable goal. My financial goal will be to continue adding funds to my savings account. I just really want to have a good savings built up so that when I finish medical school in 4 years, I have a good foundation before I start working of emergency funds for whatever may come up. My career goal / educational goal is to create and stick to a study routine. Having a routine is very, very beneficial for me. It's the only way that I get things done. And I'm looking into different methods for studying. So I really want to kind of have a plan going into medical school so that I'm not overwhelmed with different resources that are available to me. And I just want to create that routine and stick to it and figure out what works for me instead of getting caught up in what works for other people. My hobby goal is to read one summer related book. I think that reading books according to the season is one of the best ways to embrace the season. So I definitely want to read a summer related book, especially because I've been reading a lot of fantasy and romantasy books recently. So I definitely want to just embrace the summer vibes and just read at least one summer book. I definitely think I can achieve that goal. Organization wise, I have done a bit of a closet clean out. I have a closet at my parents' house and a closet at my apartment in Florida. I definitely went through my closet in Florida, and my closet at my parents' house, I don't think there's too much that I need to go through because I typically go through my things every time that I come home. So I definitely want to just revisit that to make sure that I have everything that I need. Doing a closet clean out, make sure that you have outfits that you feel confident in, that fit you, and it can also show you what things you're missing. So for example, I like to wear a lot of sundresses. So if I noticed that my sundresses weren't fitting me, I would get rid of the old ones and replace them with new ones. The other organization thing that I like to do seasonally would be to add home decor. It just helps it to feel more homely and more like you and an inviting environment. As an introvert, I like to spend a lot of time at home. So I definitely want to take the time to make sure that my home matches my personality and the phase of life that I'm in. Getting into my summer bucket list, I just have a couple things that I want to accomplish this summer just to make sure that I'm once again embracing the season. The first one would be to have a picnic. I just feel like, first of all, I love food and I love the sun, so why not mix those two things together and just romanticize life a little bit because we only got one life to live. I want to have a pool day because I just enjoy laying in the sun in my bathing suit reading a book. That just sounds like the perfect day to me. Even if it's solo, that just seems perfect. And what better season to do it in than summer? I want to watch the sunset because, again, I love to be in nature and it's just a moment of reset and gratitude, and I really enjoy that. I want to go to a zoo or aquarium. I love animals and just appreciating them, and something about going to a zoo or an aquarium just calls to me, so I definitely want to do that. I actually made plans with my little cousin in a couple weeks to go to the aquarium, so as long as that happens, that's on the books already. So I'm so excited to do that, and I love doing that with kids because seeing the world through kids' eyes is just such a special experience. The last thing on my bucket list is to go to a happy hour. I don't think I've ever done happy hour, but I just feel like that's something to experience in your 20s, and why not? Like, it's fun, drinks, food. I just feel like that's a fun experience. So that's definitely something that I put on my bucket list. Getting into some of my summer favorites, I love an exercise dress. They look cute, you look put together. There's only one thing, so you don't have to think about matching, and it's so comfortable. And especially because it's hot, it's nice and airy, and there's not a more perfect outfit setup in my opinion. I also love cute sandals because my feet get hot as well, so I don't want to be wearing sneakers all the time, and it just elevates an outfit. You could be wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and if you add cute sandals, it makes it look more elevated than if you were wearing like basic slides or even basic sneakers. Another thing that I love is baseball caps because I'm hot in the summer and it's sunny, and I'm very, very sensitive to sunlight. It is one of my migraine triggers, so wearing a baseball hat, especially if I'm going to be outside in the sun, is a really nice way to protect me from the sun. But also if my hair is dirty or like I went swimming and I didn't have time to wash my hair, it's a nice way to just keep that under control. Another favorite that I have is smoothies and fun drinks. I love drinks, so having like a smoothie with some fresh fruit or an acai bowl or anything like that, that's just perfect and screams summer to me. And the last thing that's in my favorites is oversized shades. I love oversized shades. I have this one pair of like huge black shades. They're actually prescription because I am very, very sensitive to sunlight, and then also if I don't wear my glasses I would get a migraine. So just having huge quote unquote stunner shades is just such my vibe, and I love it. And it gives bougie to me, and I just love to wear those. I wear them like almost every single day. Things that I'm looking to watch this summer: I want to finish Cheat Unfinished Business, because I noticed that Netflix was dropping all these like quote unquote spicy reality shows. So that one, when I planned out this podcast, I hadn't watched it yet, so I'm excited to finish that. And then I want to watch Sneaky Link, which is another Netflix reality show. Netflix really said, y'all want reality shows, we got you. So I will be watching, because I just love a good reality show, and the Reality Receipts podcast actually summarized both of these shows, so I love to get all the tea that way as well. Netflix also released a show called Sirens, and my friend said that she really enjoyed it. It's a limited series. I think it's only 5 or so episodes, so I'm hoping to watch that as well. And then I talked to you guys before about how I'm learning French and how I'm learning Spanish, so I want to watch The Ultimatum France. It will probably be difficult for me to understand, but it will be immersing myself in the language, so no better way. And then for Spanish, I think I'll watch Love is Blind Argentina. Even though I typically focus on the Mexican dialect, it'll be pretty similar, so I should be able to understand a lot of what's going on. And I love using TV shows or podcasts to help me learn a language, because it's a lot more fun, and language learning doesn't have to be sitting down doing a grammar book. It can be watching TV, watching movies, whatever may have you. I think that going forward, when I watch children's movies, especially on Disney Plus, because they have so many languages on there, I like, especially if I'm rewatching something that I watched before, I want to watch it in either Spanish or French, so that I am passively learning these languages that I want to be fluent in one day. Getting into my TBR, as I mentioned, I really want to read a summer book, because I've been reading a lot of romanticies for the past year. So the books on my list are The Wedding People by Alison S. Pack, 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is her new release, and The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. That one is a thriller, not a summer TBR, but it just came out, and I actually got my hands on a signed copy, so I'm definitely excited to read that book. I love listening to Crime Junkie every week, and I enjoyed Ashley Flowers' first book, All Good People Here, so I'm excited to read The Missing Half. Last episode, I talked all about making the most of your summer if you're living with your parents as an adult. So if that is something that you are experiencing, I definitely encourage you to check out that last episode, which is available wherever you listen, because I do live with my parents during the summer, and while I might not have as much freedom or space as I would if I was on my own, I still make the most of my situation, because it's my reality, so there's nothing I can do about it except make the most of the situation. Some hobbies that I'm hoping to get into this summer is enjoying outdoor walks. Right now I've been limiting my outdoor walks because I've been having a lot of knee pain, but once I sort that out, I will be able to really enjoy nature and improve my cardio at the same time. Reading, I love to read, and now that I have more free time, I really want to focus on not scrolling as much and spending that time reading books instead. iPad games have been my jam recently. I have been playing The Sims and SimCity every single day. I always log in before I go to bed to make sure I take care of my citizens. I've been playing the New York Times games every day. I have this logic puzzles game, which basically you have to figure out who did what, and I really enjoy that. So I've just been loving playing games on my iPad and on my phone. I've also been loving coloring on my phone. That's something I can do while I watch TV or while I listen to a podcast, so I really enjoy that. And as I mentioned when I was talking about my watch list, I've been enjoying watching reality TV. So far I've watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Cheat, I normally watch Love is Blind and The Ultimatum. I've watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians in the past. I need to catch up on that actually. Married to Madison, Real Housewives of Atlanta. those are typically the ones that I watch. I wanted to talk about some ins and outs for this season. So ins is going to be trying new recipes, spending time outside, watching TV, drinking water, and mindful movement. I really just want to practice those healthy habits because they are important to me. And even though it's summertime and there is a lot more social experiences, I still want to make sure that I have my core health in mind and that I have habits that reflect that desire to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Outs are going to be going to bed late, obsessing about future plans, lazy outfits, neglecting my Substack reads, and always being inside. I really just want to enjoy the season and make the most of every day while also taking care of myself. So it kind of aligns with my ends, things that I don't want to be partaking in too often this summer. And then to close out the main part of the episode, I just want to share some of my favorite songs for summer or just that I'm loving right now. The first one is Malibu by Miley Cyrus. That just feels like summer to me. After Hours by Kehlani. That song is so good and I feel like not enough people talk about it. Praise Jah in the Moonlight by YG Marley. Anything like reggae, soca, Caribbean, that's just such a summer feeling. Truth or Dare by Tyla or anything by her. Her music is so good. Show Me Love by Wiz the MC with Bees and Honey. That was popping off on TikTok a couple months ago and it definitely is such a summer song. Love Me Yeye by Tems or anything by her as well. She's also just that same vibe as Tyla and it's just perfect for summer. And then Cardi B actually just released her new song Outside on Friday and it's so good. Like I kept hearing the clips on TikTok and I was like, when is she dropping this song? Because I need it in my ears immediately. So I hope you guys enjoyed this like more lighthearted episode, which was my summer reset. Maybe you can take some inspiration for how to structure your own summer reset. This was just a really quick reset, not something too in-depth, so it's perfect for all those busy girls like me who still want to prioritize their healthy lifestyle and their habits this summer. And to help you out with that, I have 3 journal prompts. You know I always have the journal prompts. The first one is, what's one thing that you accomplished this spring? Second, what's one goal that you have for the summer? And third are write 3 summer affirmations. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Pedal and Pivot podcast. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please comment down below one thing that you're looking forward to doing this summer or any summer plans that you have. I would love to get the conversation started down in the comment section below. Also, I recently launched a YouTube channel for this podcast so you can listen to it. I don't have a video component at the moment. I'm not sure if I'll be able to incorporate that in the future because I just have a lot on my plate. But the audio version is uploaded to our YouTube channel, the Pedal and Pivot podcast. I also started a newsletter, the Pedal and Pivot publication on Substack. You can subscribe to that and I just kind of summarize the episodes. I also talk about some things that are going on with me and I just think it's a good read. I have been loving Substack recently. As I mentioned above, I've been neglecting reading my Substack articles, but it just makes me feel like I'm reading the newspaper. And reading my Substack articles and doing my little New York Times games just makes me feel like it's giving like old lady vibes in the best way possible. And so I've just been loving Substack. If you have been loving Substack as well, please be sure to check out my newsletter. You also don't have to have Substack to use it. It can come straight to your email if you want it as well. But that's all that I have for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.